네, 2020 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼에 관심을 갖고 국내외 온라인과 오프라인에서 함께 참여해 주신 여러분들께 먼저 깊은 환영과 또 감사 인사를 드립니다. First of all, thank you very much for taking your valuable time to be here with us today. We'd like to express our sincere and deep gratitude and welcome to all of you who have been interested in the forum and decided to participate in the event online and offline at home and abroad. 네, 저는 오늘 사회를 맡은 아나운서 박나경입니다. 반갑습니다. My name is Bang Na-kyung, today's MC for today. I'm very happy and honored to see you all. 네, 올해 포럼은 코로나19 상황 속에서 진행이 되는 만큼 정부의 방역 지침을 준수하고 또 참가자의 안전을 최우선으로 하면서 온라인과 오프라인을 병행해서 진행을 한다는 점 양해 부탁드리도록 하겠습니다. As this year's forum is being held under the circumstances of COVID-19, we ask for your understanding that it will be carried out both online and offline in accordance with the government quarantine guidelines for the safety of our participants. 네, 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼은 2008년 1회를 시작으로 올해로 12번째 진행이 되는 포럼입니다. 초불확실성 시대의 동북아와 아시아 공동체라는 주제로 오늘부터 내일까지 이틀 동안 진행이 되고요. 유튜브로 생중계될 예정입니다. 내일까지 여러분들 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. The Asian Economic Community Forum was first held in 2008 and it marks the 12th this year. With the theme of Northeast Asia and Asian community in the age of hyper-uncertainty, the forum will be held for 2 days from today to tomorrow and will be broadcasted live on YouTube channel. So we look forward for your interest and until tomorrow. 네, 그럼 지금부터 2020 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼 개회식을 시작하도록 하겠습니다. Now let us begin the opening ceremony of 2020 Asian Economic Community Forum. 네, 먼저 박재훈 아시아경제 공동체재단 이사장님의 개회사를 청해 듣도록 하겠습니다. First of all, we'd like to invite Chairman Jae-hoon Park of the Asia Economic Community Forum Foundation for the opening remarks. 여러분 큰 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다. Please welcome Radio Bikant.
Colleagues, distinguished guests, students, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a great pleasure to open the Asia Economic Forum 2020 and to welcome you all once again to Korea. Asia Economic Community Forum is a gathering of leaders from Asia and the world in the fields of academia, politics, and business. It has aimed to explore the identity of Asia and the direction for its future development while discussing cooperative measures to form an economic, social, and cultural community within the region. The forum has been initiated by Asia Economic Community Foundation, which was established 12 years ago in 2008 for the goal of establishing the Asian community in the long run. So this year, we are celebrating the 12th anniversary of the establishment of the foundation, and we are holding the 12th conference of the AECF Forum. I could say that 11 previous conferences since 2009 became the essential steps for a successful launching of a prestigious international forum, which is expected to be a cornerstone for the historic march toward the creation of the Asian community. Since 2017, we have been preparing for publishing an SSCI level international journal based on the accumulation of AECF activities. This year, the forum is celebrating the launching of the new journal, Asia and the Global Economy, AGE, published by the major international publisher Elsevier. AGE will be the official journal of Asia Economic Community Foundation and Incheon National University. This year's theme is Northeast Asia and the Asian community in the age of the hyper-uncertainty. We are really living in the age of hyper-uncertainty. What is the hyper-uncertainty? Hyper-uncertainty includes the neo-isolationism that began with Britain's withdrawal from the European Union and the election of President Trump, the US-China trade war, the Korea-Japan economic struggle in Northeast Asia, unresolved North Korean nuclear issues, the climate change, and lastly, more urgently, COVID-19 crisis. We'll discuss how to resolve those uncertainties in the context of pursuing together the integration or unification of the Korean Peninsula and the Asian regional integration. This is the main issue which former Secretary General of United Nations Ban Ki-moon will deal with in his next following keynote speech. The planned session will discuss the issue of political economy of regional integration from the comparative perspective of Northeast Asia and Europe. In 2017, the Foundation launched a new project of the Youth Committee, the main activities of which are organizing the Model Asian Union competition and an international network of college students around Asia. This year, the committee is again organizing the competition regarding young people's future vision of unification and integration. Like previous years, many renowned institutions and organizations from home and abroad are participating as co-organizing and sponsoring institutions. This year, we are organizing total 15 sessions and total 42 papers are presented. Summarizing 2 days forum, we'll announce the Incheon Declaration 2020, the title of which will be In the Age of Hyper-Uncertainty, the Hyper-Cooperative Leadership based on the community spirit is urgently needed. I hope that you enjoy your time here and that you are able to build both lasting memories and contacts, even though due to the pandemic, foreign participants are participating only online. Thank you very much.
네, 박재훈 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼 이사장님의 인사 말씀이셨습니다. 여러분 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. Thank you very much for the speech. 네, 다음은 양운근 인천대학교 총장 직무대리님의 축사가 있겠습니다. Now there will be a congratulatory address delivered by Mr. Yang Un-gun, who is acting on behalf of the President of Incheon National University. 여러분 큰 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다. Please welcome Rita Bicant.
네, 안녕하십니까. 인천대학교 총장 직무대리 양운근입니다. 먼저 오늘 이 자리를 빛내주신 기빈 여러분과 온라인으로 함께 해주시고 계신 참가자 여러분들께 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼은 지난 2009년 이래로 함께 만드는 하나된 아시아라는 대주제 하에 아시아 국가들의 발전과 상생은 물론 전 세계인의 더 나은 미래를 위해 끊임없이 노력해 왔습니다. 이번 포럼에서는 초불확실성 시대의 동북아와 아시아 공동체라는 주제로 아시아와 세계가 당면한 여러 사회 경제적 문제들을 해결하기 위한 지혜를 모으고자 하는 것으로 알고 있습니다. 지금 세계는 코로나19로 심각한 몸살을 앓고 있습니다. 경제 위축은 물론 자국 우선주의는 국가 간 연결고리를 약화시키고 상호 교류를 단절시키고 있습니다. 하지만 역설적으로 코로나19 위기는 우리에게 세계가 연결되어 있고 또 연결되어야 함을 확인시켜주고 있습니다. 즉, 이 난관을 극복하기 위해서는 혼자만 노력하는 것이 아니라 모두가 합심하여 머리를 맞대어야 한다는 것을 말해주고 있습니다. 특히 우리 모두가 어렵고 힘든 문턱을 넘고 있는 지금이야말로 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼이 추구하는 정신과 가치가 그 어느 때보다 더 절실하고 중요해진 시기라 할 수 있습니다. 아무쪼록 오늘 포럼을 통해 여러 석학들께서 공유해 주실 지혜를 얻어 가시길 바랍니다. 이뿐만 아니라 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼이 인천과 대한민국을 넘어 아시아를 대표하는 포럼으로 발전하길 기원하겠습니다. 마지막으로 어려운 여건 속에서도 귀중한 공론의 장을 마련해 주신 박재훈 아시아 경제 공동체 재단 이사장님을 비롯한 여러 관계자 여러분께 감사와 축하 말씀을 전하며 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼과 함께 해주신 모든 분들의 건승을 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
네, 양훈근 인천대학교 총장 직무대리님의 축사를 청해 들었습니다. 여러분 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 고맙습니다. Thank you very much for the remark. 네, 이어서 또 다른 축사를 청해 듣도록 할 텐데요. 김흥종 대외 경제정책연구원장님의 축사가 있겠습니다. There will be another congratulatory address from Mr. Kim Heung-jong, President of KIEP. Please welcome Rita Buchanan. 여러분 큰 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다.
Dear distinguished guests, good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to be here as President of the Korea Institute for International Economic Policy and speak to the distinguished participants in this forum. First of all, I'd like to extend my gratitude to former Secretary General Ban Ki-moon of the United Nations, Chairman Park Jae-hoon from the Asian Economic Community Foundation, and Acting President Yang Eun-gun from Incheon National University. I also extend my warm welcome to all our participants here today. Dear guests, since its inception in 2009, the Asia Economic Community Forum has served as an open platform for discussion of Asian regional cooperation. This forum is intended to cultivate a habit of dialogue and cooperation among stakeholders in Asia, all with the aim of finding solutions to Asian and global economic issues and promoting regional cooperation. I am very happy to say that my institution, KIEP, has participated in this forum from its inception. We are now facing numerous uncertainties and challenges such as the global pandemic of COVID-19, long-term stagnation signs in the world economy, and the deepening US-China trade conflict and protectionism. The crisis caused by COVID-19 has led to rapid changes in our society, culture, and living environment, as well as the economy. No single country can overcome the nation's economic, social, and security issues alone under these complex and hyper-uncertain circumstances. It is important to work together to address common threats through international cooperation. Today's forum is very meaningful as an opportunity to gather our wisdom in the age of hyper-uncertainty. Distinguished guests, the global pandemic crisis has accelerated changes in the global supply chain, which has been affected by the US-China competition and deepening protectionism. Also, the acceleration of digital transformation has caused changes in the industrial structure. KIEP has been doing its best to proactively respond to the rapid changing environment, conducting in-depth researches and knowledge disseminations in the fields of foreign economic policy issues, international finance, trade, and inter-Korean issues, cooperation as well. This year, we established the Center for International Development Cooperation at my institution to strengthen our capacities towards ODA policy research and to present practical policies on new challenges such as climate change and the environment. KIEP will continue to contribute to the scope and depth of foreign economic policy research in Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to conclude my remark with a quote by Henry Ford. Coming together is the beginning. Staying together is progress, and working together is success. I'm confident that working together for a shared goal and a common purpose can make a big difference on the ground. I hope that our discussions at today's and tomorrow's forum can bring about meaningful progress for Asian regional cooperation. Once again, I extend my warmest appreciation to all for your participation and contribution to the AECF 2020. 감사합니다.
네, 고맙습니다. 김흥종 대외경제정책연구원장님의 축사까지 청해 들었습니다. 네, 제가 작년에도 이 자리에서 사회를 봤는데요. 올해도 이렇게 함께 하게 돼서 정말 영광입니다. 다들 마스크를 쓰고 계시지만 이 마스크 너머에서 이 열정과 또 관심의 눈빛은 여전하신 것 같아요. 오늘 끝까지 유익한 시간 준비되어 있으니까 함께 해주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 네, 다음으로는 기조연설이 준비되어 있습니다. The Asian Community and Multilateralism in the Age of Hyper-Uncertainty, 즉 초불확실성 시대 동북아와 아시아 공동체라는 주제로 반기문 유엔 전 사무총장님의 기조연설을 청해 듣도록 하겠습니다. Next, we'll listen to keynote speech by former Secretary General Ban Ki-moon of United Nations. 네, 반기문 전 유엔 사무총장님께서는요, 바쁜 스케줄로 오늘 이 자리에는 안타깝게도 함께 해주시지는 못하셨습니다. 그래서 사전 녹화된 영상을 통해서 여러분들 만나보도록 하겠습니다. Since the former Secretary General Ban Ki-moon of UN was unable to attend today due to his busy schedule, so we will take a look at his speech through pre-recorded video on the screen. 네. 여러분 화면을 통해 만나보실 텐데 여러분 큰 박수로 맞이해 주시기 바랍니다. Please welcome Video Becan. Please look at the screen.
Dr. Park Jae-hoon, Chairman of the Asia Economic Community Foundation, Dr. Yang Eun-gun, Acting President of Incheon National University, Dr. Kim Hung-jong, President of the Korea Institute for International Economic Policy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honor to deliver this keynote opening address at the Asia Economic Community Forum 2020. And it is my privilege to deliver these remarks at such an important juncture for Asia and the larger world. Indeed, this is a period that has brought great changes to our lives, but also offers promising opportunities to construct a more peaceful, sustainable, and prosperous region and world. I take this opportunity to offer my sincere congratulations on the opening of the Asia Economic Community Forum 2020, which also marks its impressive 12th anniversary. My special thanks go to this forum's forward-thinking host, the Asia Economic Community Foundation. AECF 2020 has brought together leading academics, universities, research institutes, governments, policymakers, CEOs, and other key stakeholders to enhance essential regional integration and cooperation during this age of hyper-uncertainty. I'm pleased to see that the advancement of knowledge sharing and the promotion of regional integration, peace, and common prosperity in Northeast Asia serves as a cornerstone of your vision. This is important in our increasingly uncertain yet deeply interconnected world. This is also particularly noteworthy today as expanding protectionism and nationalism continue to bring rising threats to regional cooperation here in Asia, as well as multilateralism around the world. With your efforts, I am confident that this forum will produce practical outcomes to create one Asia together. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our world is going through pronounced changes. resulting in hyper uncertainty and elevated risks. We are currently living through a once-in-a-lifetime global pandemic that has upended our daily lives, health systems, economies, interpersonal relationships, and societies. Indeed, in just a few short months, the virus has reached every corner of the world. As of today, there are over 43 million confirmed cases and more than 1.2 million global deaths. Countries have been locked down, borders have been closed, and entire industries have come to a screeching halt, with the long-term economic uncertainty and the painful global recovery on the horizon. While many countries that were hit early with the virus re-emerged from painful lockdowns and reopened their economies, they are now being hindered by second waves and entering new lockdowns and retightened restrictions. This includes countries such as Italy, Spain, France, and many more. Other countries such as the United States, Brazil, and the United Kingdom have struggled with the high case and death counts. This is a result of a lack of national strategies, insufficient testing, face mask non-compliance, and failure to heed the advice of public health experts. This indicates that the nationalist neo-isolationism, which in part has led to some of the cataclysmic changes we have witnessed in recent years, such as the election of President Trump and Brexit, is insufficient in the face of the inherently global challenges in our interconnected world. In addition to the ongoing pandemic, challenges to the existing international order and institutions are being felt across continents and industries. Leaders are taking advantage of hateful rhetoric for the sake of electoral popularity. Societies are overwhelmed by an unfounded sense of fear and resentment, often making the enemy out of the weak and the vulnerable. Nations are erecting walls to keep refugees and migrants at bay. The same logic and the sentiment to keep people away are easily applied to the goods and services produced by those same unwanted people. Tariffs and protectionism are disrupting free trade in Asia and beyond. People are increasingly looking inward as nationalism and xenophobia spreads. Human rights are no longer respected, threatening the rules-based multilateral order based on human decency and mutual respect. Development and humanitarian resources are being depleted at an alarming rate as governments are slashing their funding. This is only building up more pressure in places in dire need of help. A recent UN climate change reports all paint a worrying picture of fast approaching tipping points, unprecedented global heating, seismic biodiversity loss, and existential threats to our planet if immediate action is not taken. Great power rivalry between the United States and China related to trade, security, and technology is adding to this pronounced era of hyper uncertainty in Asia and beyond. Additionally, ongoing economic and historical tensions between Korea and Japan, as well as the unresolved North Korean nuclear issues, are both compounding today's hyper-uncertainty in Northeast Asia. At the same time, new technologies are altering how we communicate, live, and work. Sweeping advances in the fields of artificial intelligence, blockchain, biotechnology, and robotics will alter the future of our countries, cities, businesses, educational systems, and interpersonal relationships. However, despite these challenges, we have made progress in key areas. And I believe that we also have invaluable opportunities to change the world for the better. But to do this, we need to work together through a driving commitment to multilateralism and sustainability, as well as the power of cooperation and partnership and integration. Today, I wish to share some insights with you based on my experience as UN Secretary General on how multilateral cooperation can be used as an enabling key to unlock a shared future that is sustainable, peaceful, and dynamic, as well as Asia's leading role to this end. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm of the view that to cope with the expanding challenges of our hyper-uncertain world, it is absolutely essential to reinvigorate multilateralism and elevate action on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And this is particularly timely as the United Nations celebrates its landmark 75th anniversary this year. The challenges we now face in responding to COVID-19 are vast. However, they are also providing us with a once-in-a-generation opportunity to build back better and greener in a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable manner. I believe the pandemic also exemplifies our inherently interconnected nature and elevates the necessity of a strong multilateral response underpinned by elevated cooperation and partnership. Indeed, pandemics, climate change, inequality, and other global issues make it clear that we are all in this together. As such, multilateralism must serve as our catalyst to harness this pandemic as a gateway to a brighter world. In this connection, I believe that uniting in partnership to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals can simultaneously bring us together and illuminate the path to greater sustainability, security, and prosperity. During my 10 years leading the United Nations as its Secretary General, I'm incredibly proud to have brought the entire world together to agree to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Adopted by 193 countries in New York in September 2015, the SDGs offer us a way forward to solve the most critical issues of our times. These include poverty, public health, education, inequality, climate change, and gender equality, and several others. 5 years since their adoption, the SDGs have made tangible progress on bettering maternal mortality rates, combating poverty and hunger, and improving the quality of water and sanitation. But progress is uneven on others, and COVID-19, conflicts, and climate change are all leading to troubling reversals in SDG implementation on the ground. So, we must forge ahead in the spirit of reinvigorated multilateralism in order to meet the SDGs' noble aspiration of a brighter future for all people and our planet. To do so, cooperation, innovation, and engagement by all stakeholders in all the regions, including here in Asia, is absolutely essential. Indeed, we need an all-hands-on-deck approach where everyone joins together in partnership to synergize ownership, participation, and the vital involvement from all sectors of all societies. With this in mind, global partnerships, including the active participation of academia, policymakers, civil society, the private sector, young people, and other key stakeholders like yourselves are absolutely necessary if we are to achieve the SDGs. But we must understand that inclusiveness remains an essential pillar for fulfilling the SDGs. Whether it is women and children, people with disabilities, immigrants and refugees, the elderly, or other marginalized communities, we simply cannot move forward without first ensuring that no one is left behind. The SDGs offer us a viable roadmap to help rebuild our societies back better and greener from the pandemic. They can help propel the power of multilateralism and partnership by catalyzing a people-centered approach that empowers all of humanity and our planet. They can help build healthy societies, fortify resilience to climate change, and bring us all together to innovate and collaborate and take action to persevere over the global challenges we face in our interconnected world. And they can also help bring Asia closer together in cooperation and partnership for the greater good under the guiding banner of multilateralism. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in addition to reinvigorating multilateralism and elevating action to achieve the UN SDGs, I believe it is high time to launch a regional cooperation body here in Northeast Asia. This is something that is not only long overdue, but is significant in building resilience to help us collectively cope with the ongoing stresses of today's hyper-uncertainty. And it would also help in response to the pressing challenges of tomorrow as well. At the same time, a Northeast Asian regional cooperation body would also elevate a greater economic integration as well as facilitate critical peace-building efforts both on the Korean Peninsula and in the region. Indeed, greater regional integration in tandem with a potential peace cooperation mechanism established on the Korean Peninsula could tangibly facilitate the constructions of sustainable and durable peace. In this regard, I take this opportunity to highly commend the Asia Economic Community Foundation for its ongoing active discussions to this end. The establishment of such a cooperative peace system on the Korean Peninsula should not only be pursued between the two Koreas, but multilaterally in the larger region as well. But we should understand that the new system or guiding paradigm underpinned by cooperation here on the Korean Peninsula will only prove fruitful alongside the similar establishment of a new system in Northeast Asia to be created in tandem with it. To spur these developments further, I believe it is first essential for Korea and Japan to elevate their mutual efforts to urgently resolve the ongoing economic conflict between the two nations. I also take this opportunity to note with appreciation the President Moon Jae-in's recent proposal during his United Nations General Assembly speech in September. His call to establish a regional health security initiative alongside Japan, China, Mongolia, and North Korea to help enhance infectious disease control and response is quite timely. This proposal is very much in line with the requisite reinvigorated multilateral action and closer regional integration that is greatly needed in these unsteady times. Such forward-thinking proposals can bring us closer together. At the same time, that it seems like the forces of division are expanding throughout the world alongside hyper-uncertainty. So we should endeavor to do what we can to build peace, reaffirm our regional community based on shared interests, and elevate greater integration. All of these actions are inherently based on a driving spirit of compromise, moderation, and tolerance. And all of these qualities are increasingly needed in a world rife with pandemic, conflict, and environmental crisis. With this in mind, in order to resolve ongoing conflicts between the two Koreas and other countries in the region, both patience and courage are greatly needed to scale up dialogue and elevate communication to first form internal consensus. I believe that drawing on the leadership and vision of Jean Monnet, the father of European integration, as well as the strengthening of private initiatives, civil society engagement, and partnerships, are critical to help kickstart concrete action on a regional cooperation body. Our region, unlike all other regions, lacks a cooperative body akin to the European Union, League of Arab States, Organization of American States, and African Union, or sub-regional bodies such as ASEAN or ECOWAS. This is partly a result of our nation's complicated histories and competing political ambitions. However, as AECF has emphasized, it is also my strong wish that we now establish a Northeast Asian regional cooperation body. The United States, China, Japan, and Russia would participate in this body with a view to establishing roadmaps for the North Korean denuclearization process, as well as find solutions to the regional conflicts between Korea and Japan, and the growing tensions between the United States and China. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Asia represents the vanguard of global efforts to build a more peaceful, sustainable, and prosperous global future. Indeed, this region has limitless potential in terms of its economic, cultural, and innovative vibrancy. And as globalization, technology, and cultural exchange continues to bring us closer together, we should understand that our commonality can provide invaluable opportunities to realize peace and sustainable development. In these times of increased hyper-uncertainty, I believe that reinvigorating multilateralism to achieve the United Nations SDGs and launching a regional cooperative body are vital efforts that can unite our nations via cooperation and partnership. But this urgent and historic undertaking can create opportunities as well. We can expand social inclusion, empower women and young people, harness innovation, advance climate action, and scale up regional integration and global prosperity. We need to ensure that the United Nations global goals are local business everywhere, here in Seoul, in Tokyo, in Beijing, and beyond. We must also seize this historic opportunity to build our societies back better and in a more sustainable and inclusive manner from COVID-19. Solving the problems of our hyper-uncertain world, which are intrinsically global in nature, will continue to require robust cooperation and global solutions underpinned by multilateralism and transformational regional initiatives. In this regard, I respectfully call on all of you here this week at the 2020 Asia Economic Community Forum to play your part in advancing the United Nations SDGs and supporting the launch of a regional cooperative mechanism in your ongoing work. I firmly believe that we can create the future we want, one where multilateralism, cooperation, and elevated regional integration can serve as the dynamos that help propel Northeast Asia, as well as all people and our planet, to new soaring heights. Let us expand our unified efforts to realize this shared destiny for all in the years to come. I thank you for your attention.
네, 반기문 전 유엔 사무총장님의 화면을 통한 연설 함께 들어봤습니다. 여러분 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 네, we have listened a speech from Mr. Ban Ki-moon, the former Secretary General of the United Nations, under the theme of the Asian community and multilateralism in the age of hyper uncertainty. 네, 이것으로 2020 아시아 경제 공동체 포럼의 개회식은 모두 마치도록 하겠습니다. Now this is the end of the opening ceremony of 2020 Asian Economic Community Forum today. 네, 함께해 주신 여러분 진심으로 감사드립니다. 온오프라인으로 함께해 주셨는데요. 오후 일정을 잠시 안내해 드리도록 하겠습니다. Thank you very much for staying with us until the end. So let me make some short announcement about the afternoon schedule for today. 네, 오후 3시부터 총회가 시작될 예정입니다. 현장에 계신 연사분들, 참가자분들, 그리고 온라인으로도 참여해 주신 분들께서는요, 계속해서 총회에도 관심 많이 부탁을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 또 현장에 계신 분들은요, 이 회의장 앞 로비에 간단한 다과를 준비를 해두었습니다. 커피와 차 함께 즐기시고 편안하게 휴식을 취하신 후에 잠시 후 총회 참석해 주시면 되겠습니다. The General Assembly is scheduled to be held from 3 p.m. Speakers and participants on site and those who are participating and online here. So please, we kindly ask you to have your continuing interest and support for the forum and General Assembly as well. And we prepare some refreshment at the lobby for you, so please enjoy and I'll be back after a while with you. Thank you. 네, 잠시 후에 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 고맙습니다.